championship has to have you wanting a bit more or just the same going
Yeah.
into this year as a senior?
Yeah, absolutely. The goals are definitely higher. We know we can do it. So now the goal is to get to Omaha. We know we have the team to do it, and no one's leaving, so we just got to dig in and kind of get the job done.
I know it's been kind of difficult with the weather and all that to get on the field, but in the time that you spent at practice, what has been the most exciting part about getting ready for the season in that first game against Kennesaw State?
Probably just the inner squads and kind of getting to see how the coaches are putting the lineups together, kind of see who's playing with who. That's been a lot of fun, but I mean, I would say we're more prepared this year than we have ever been, especially being out in the field as much as we can because it's been decently warm, so definitely been real nice.
Logan, when you can look back at what this team accomplished and what you did to kind of help push that forward with that catch in the Atlantic Championship game, what do you think this team is capable of, other than Omaha, to accomplish offensively in the pitching? What would you define this team right now? What is VCU baseball at this moment?
At this moment, I think we're a pretty strong team. I think you get a solid team that, they run out there. They have some pretty good leaders, but they have great young talent. Like Sean, I think he's reasonably looked at as the guy this year, and I think that everybody pretty much knows their role. We look to him, he looks to us. Great leadership, but with everything like that, I think, like you said, our pitching staff was strong last year, and our hitters were the ones that were new to the lineup, and now just losing one guy in our lineup and having everybody else back, it's kind of like the roles reversed. So now they had our backs last year, now we have theirs. So we'll see how it goes.
Sean, Logan just kind of alluded to it right there. You're going to be the guy on the mound this year with losing a lot of pitchers. What weight do you put on your shoulders there, and kind of how crucial do you look at your role to how much do you embrace that role of being the guy on the mound?
I mean, I had a good experience last year dealing with so many senior good arms with JoJo Howie, Heath Dwyer, Matt Lees, Daniel Concepcion. So they kind of paved the road for me to see how to get the job done, go out there and compete. So I don't say there's any pressure, just go out and compete and work as hard as I can and, kind of help the younger guys and the junior college guys just to set a tone with throwing strikes early.
How much did you, Sean, how much did you lean on those seniors last year, and how much will that benefit you in getting the rest of the staff ready for this year?
I lean on them a lot. I roomed with Matt Blanchard, he was a senior, and they kind of took me under their wing, showed me how to get the job done. I was given an opportunity with an injury to throw some quality innings last year, so I really took advantage of that and really just kind of sat back and learned the game from them and just learned how to compete at this level. So it was really helpful.
Logan, y'all raised expectations last year, and I know the goal was to get to Omaha. What's realistic at this point?
Realistically, I guess nothing's ever promised, and we understand that. I think a lot of guys understand what we're capable of, and that being Omaha and that being the postseason, but mainly we take it one step at a time, and we know that without, you know how it works. We didn't start out too hot last year, so we're trying to make sure that at the end of the day, we put in the work now just to win, slowly progress, and never be complacent with where we're at. And hopefully we can stay hot and get hot at the right time like we did last year. But realistically, we know that we have a team that's capable of making a run into the postseason, but at the same time, we know nothing's really handed to us.
Logan, a little bit different this year in the fact that you guys are marked men now. It's not flying under the radar anymore, maybe like you were going into the A-10 tournament last year. How different is that for you guys, and how much do you guys embrace that role?
I think we embrace it well. I definitely don't think we're complacent. I think a lot of things come out from day to day with where teams are ranked and things like that, but I think a lot of us feel like we're still slept on nationally or in the conference, and that just adds fuel to our fire. As for us playing with a target on our back, I think it's nice to be the ones that are being chased, and we don't feel like giving up the lead, so we're going to continue to run with it.
Do you still try to keep that underdog mentality of sorts, though?
Yeah. I think as a team overall, we really believe that we're slept on, and I think we show it with the way we play. We understand that there's going to be no weak outs and things like that. We're going to have to grind day in and day out.
James, when you look at the lineup and everyone that's coming back, obviously Vimael leaves a bit of a hole in what he was able to contribute, but in your 4 years, does this lineup have the potential to match what you guys were able to do at the end of the season last year, where you guys were ranked one of the best offensive teams in terms of scoring runs and hitting the baseball with percentages?
Oh, absolutely. Everyone's come back with a lot better swings, so I would almost say we're even a little better. Obviously, losing V was going to be hard on us, and I think Matty will kind of take his place in that kind of spot. You know, we have a bunch of core guys coming back who've just worked on their swings, who've gotten so much stronger, added a little pop, little speed. So I think we're a more dynamic lineup this year than we were even last year.
And as we've addressed, pitching is still going to be in flux, figuring out Sean leading the group, but hitting can be a bit hot and cold at times. And does that concern you guys at all? That you guys are going to be consistent, but there could be those cold stretches and pitching isn't keeping up. You guys might not be able to back them up. Does that put more pressure on you guys in the lineup and hitting to help those guys out, defend the mound, so to speak?
Yes and no. I would say, obviously, you go into cold slumps, you go into hot slumps, but that's when our pitchers do step up. When we were struggling last year, our pitchers stepped up, and then pitchers did really well, and then finally our hitters got hot, and that's what I felt led to the run. So I think we all kind of lean on each other, and that makes us such a great team.
Logan, you mentioned about still, even after the success you had a year ago, that you kind of are slighted coming into this year. Along with that, how much did the Super Regional run was talked about as you started for camp as a fuel to get ready for this season?
Our coaches haven't really mentioned it much, you know. Like, I think they're a strong believer and we're a strong believer it's a new year. You know, just because we made it to the Super Regional last year doesn't even mean we make it to the postseason this year. So as for Super Regionals, we understand that what we accomplished last year was a great deal and it was great for everybody, but we also look to a new year. Essentially, we're not dwelling on the past. I mean, it was a great experience and one that we could look back on forever, but it's a new season. And with that being said, we don't really talk about it much because, I mean, some of the guys that we're going to look to step up, they don't know what that experience was like. There's freshmen here, there's JUCO guys who weren't really on that run with us. So, I mean, there's no really sense in talking about it that much in the sense that they didn't get that experience that we got, but we all understand what was accomplished last year, but it's a new year.
It is a new year, but to look back, what was your favorite moment from last year's run? Like, what's the best memory thinking about it, and how does that help carry over to this year?
I think my favorite moment was just going down with the guys in Miami. I think how close we came together as a team was one that I remember for the rest of my life. And I think as we ran into the postseason, we just became closer and closer, and we became a family. It was a great run, but some of the things like waking up at 8 a.m. with these guys and having to catch the bus or get to an airport and running through the airport scrambling together, it's things I'll never forget. But it was a great run, and I think my favorite moment personally was probably going down to Miami and a couple of days before, as we got down there early, just being able to relax with our teammates, like poolside, and just really reflect on the season that we had going on.
We looked up when we were upstairs, we were looking at the catch that you made in the 8-10 final. How often do you think about that catch?
Only really when I see it. I think after it happened, I thought about it a lot. I was like, wow, like I did that, but not too much, because who's to say that ever happens again, you know? Like, I think it was just one of those freak things. Do I think I'm capable of doing it? Yes, but we don't really bring it up that often. We know that there was the work that was put in on the back end for that to happen is what we talk about more than that actually happening. So we'll talk about the reads that it took in practice to get that, for things to know that I could make plays like that, or these guys can make plays that, you know, people may see on like SportsCenter and things like that, but it's what they did before that to make that play that we talk about more.
I mean, even just to add on, you see our outfielders making diving catches probably 10 times a practice in our batting practice reads. So we're definitely practiced with it. We definitely take our live reads serious, and that kind of helps and makes him confident that he knows that he can make that catch.
Do you guys wear the rings often? I see you got them on today. Do you wear them often?
I don't think we wear them that often. I think we definitely wear them when we have to be dressed up. So we'll be acknowledged at the basketball game next week. I'm pretty sure a lot of the guys will have their rings on. But, I mean, some people don't wear them that often. We do. I think after opening day, maybe our first trip to Georgia, it'll probably be time for me to put it away and stop thinking about it and look to this year.
Mentioning opening day, 3 straight road games before you host Maryland to begin the season at the Diamond. That opportunity against a Big Ten team, hopefully the crowd will be great. Oh, is that an exciting moment to kind of, it'll be the culmination of what you've accomplished and then move on?
You want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's going to be exciting to get back on the Diamond, you know, go down to Georgia and have a fun weekend down there playing some great competition. But you know, we're looking forward to coming back home then, get in front of our fans, and you know, finally get a chance to see the new team this year and seeing what we accomplished last year. So just kind of help the program out getting back home and competing against a really good Maryland team, which we had some success with last year.
Sean, you guys want to turn the page, I know, and kind of focus on this year, but do you think last year's going to have, you're going to see last year's success in the stands maybe? We see some more, you hope to see some more black and gold in the seats of the diamond for you guys?
I mean, definitely. I would like to see some more fans out there, but it's cold at the beginning of the season. But
overall for the entire season?
yeah, I mean, hopefully what they saw, how hard we worked. I mean, you see on YouTube, there's videos of us working out, and hopefully it'll pay off, and our fans come out and support us, which they always do here at VCU. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully some more fans this year and building off last year, keep the program going in the right direction.
Coach mentioned during the run last year, when you played top quality competition at the beginning of the season, it kind of mentally prepared you guys for that late season run. As players, how does playing teams like a Georgia Tech and a Maryland early in the season get you mentally and physically sharp for A-10 play to make a run like you guys did a year ago?
I mean, it gives us the confidence that we can play against any team. We played Virginia always every year, and look how great a year they had. And I think we lost that maybe 5-3 when we had chances to win that game. So it definitely gives us the confidence that we can play against anyone else and aren't really scared of anyone else. We weren't scared of Dallas Baptist last year, and we're not going to be scared of Georgia Tech this year. So we definitely have the confidence, kind of quiet confidence, obviously, and it just leads into A-10 knowing that it's a different team, but we still kind of keep that confidence about us, knowing that we played so-called better competition, even though I think the A-10 gets a very underrated rap.
Yeah, to go off what Bun said, I completely agree. Every year since I've been here, we usually go down south and we open up against bigger schools to start. And I mean, the coach never tells us exactly why, but I mean, it gives us an opportunity to show that we can compete with those teams. And going down there and like playing those bigger schools also gives you a way to you don't have to bring your own energy essentially. Being down there, they're going to provide you with a lot of energy playing those big schools. When you play bigger schools, your team naturally gets up for those games, and it allows us to do that, see where our energy's at, and go out there and compete. And usually it's turned out well for us in the past since I've been here, and to show us that we can compete and hang with teams that are looked at as the best in the country.
And this year they may look at you guys a little differently because of that great run a season ago. It's not like, oh, it's VCU, coming out here. It's this team made it to the Super Regionals last year. We got to bring our A game as well.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think a lot of teams may look back and be like, well, it's not really a team to be slept on anymore. They made it to a Super Regional, and some of these teams, they were watching us play on TV and got to see us play our game and say okay, well, we have to bring it. This isn't just a mid-major team anymore. This Super Regional team, they made a great run, and they beat some of the best in the country on their run.
Any other questions?